To Trump and Tucker and all of my MAGA friends, hello. I'm TJ McFadden, father, Gulf War veteran, sometimes author, and now I have been a lifelong Republican. My first vote was cast for Ronald Reagan. I voted for Trump twice. I intended to vote for him 3 times. I have followed Tucker Carlson for years and all the other brilliant conservative commentators who have come out over the last few years speaking the truth to power, challenging the Washington elites. I've thought it was great. And then I hear people talking about limiting aid to Ukraine, about us spending too much to help the Ukrainians defend themselves against Russia, and I have to ask you, what the hell are you thinking? This is Russia under Vladimir Putin, ex-KGB. This guy has started war after war after war. This guy wants to recreate the Soviet Empire. And you're helping him. You're making it easier for him. He thinks you're his friend because you're calling for less aid to the Ukraine or for cutting off the Ukraine entirely. He thinks you're his friend. You're giving him hope of victory. And let me tell you, when Putin thinks you're his friend, something has gone catastrophically wrong. Look, I know that people have been pushing for this. Biden and the Washington insiders and the corporate media, yes, they've lied to us. They've slandered us. They have been so wrong so many times on so many things. They have mocked us. But on this one thing, they are right. We do need to support Ukraine. And seriously, they weren't even all that right. Biden practically invited Russia to invade when he said U.S. troops wouldn't fight in Ukraine, when he lifted the sanctions that Trump had imposed on the Nord Stream pipeline, when he made such a royal cluster of the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. He practically invited Putin to invade. And when he got on the phone with Zelensky on day 1 of the war, did he say, fight like hell, we'll back you up? No. He said, get to the airport, we'll fly you out. Who was the one who manned up? Who was the one who looked at Russian armies converging on Kiev from 2 directions, who had Spetsnaz assassination teams walking the streets of Kiev, trying to assassinate him and his family? That guy was Zelensky. And Zelensky said, I don't need a ride out, I need ammunition. You can't pay a person to do that. You can't bribe a person to do that. These accusations from Putin about corruption. You can't pay a man to stand his ground like that. And frankly, these accusations are coming from Putin, which is pretty rich when you consider how much money he's made off of his corruption. This is something that we need to get behind, not just for the Ukraine, but you know that Xi in China is watching this as well. Hell, if we hadn't supported Ukraine as much as we did, he probably would be invading Taiwan right now. Dictators around the world are looking at this and seeing what happens. We need to get out in front of this. We need to support Zelensky more than the Democrats are. We need to call not for 31 tanks, but for 300. And for 50 F-16s, and maybe reform an American volunteer group, American Flying Tigers flying over Ukraine. Wouldn't that be great? We need to show that we're defending freedom. We need to convince Putin that there is no way he wins this, that there is no way he walks away from this with a victory. Look, we're telling the Ukrainians to give up their land. If some foreign invader was sitting on American soil and some gutless worm in the U.S. said we should give up some American soil to get a meaningless peace treaty out of them, we'd give them the back of our hands. We'd ride them out of town on a rail. Why then do we expect the Ukrainians to give up their land? And it isn't as if giving Putin their land will do any good, because once he gets their land, once he secures Russia's borders by taking Ukraine, then he'll want to secure Ukraine's borders by taking Poland. And he'll want to secure Poland's borders by taking Germany. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's not even original. Hitler used the same excuses. So let's get out in front of this. Let's turn this into a win. Let's show that we're the champions of freedom and that we're backing Zelensky. Let's end the killing the only way that the killing can end. with a Ukrainian victory. And to my Ukrainian friends, I apologize because I'm probably going to murder the pronunciation on this, but Slava Ukraina!